Today we're going to be playing with the insulator erector set. We're going to be putting up a cross arm on the top. So I have to lower the entire rack, disconnect it from its mount, which has already been done, and lower the entire rack. Today we're playing with the insulator erector set. Hey Robert, glad you could join the broadcast this morning. I'm going to lower this group of 3 cross arms, and I'm going to add a new cross arm on top. And it was being held in place on that top beam by the center bolt you see sticking out by the black strap, but there's just no way all that weight can be safely supported by that one bolt. So I'm going to lower the group of 3 arms that are already there. Good morning, Veronica. Ciao. And going to add a new cross arm on top. Welcome to Veronica from Italy. Wow, what time is it over there, girl? It's like what, 9 hours, 10 hours ahead of us right now. So anyway, I'm going to get started here in a minute. I think I have just about everything I need, but you never know. We'll see. I have coffee, I have WD-40, I have wrenches, and I have bolts. I'm not sure what else I need. Just to give you an idea where we are, we're kind of in the back corner of the yard here. Over this way is literally the back corner of the yard with the lemon tree. And there's the Pit Vaca Strange. This is a set of 1917 Ohio brass that went between the Pitt River Power Plant, which was a precursor to PG&E, and Vacaville, the city of Vacaville. Not only is this a patented design of insulator, but the actual way the string is laid out with multiple sizes and shapes of insulators is itself patented. And this string came down from the Lassen area, care of Jim. Oh man, it's going to take me a minute to come up with that name. Anyway, I'll work on that. So thanks to him for that. And then you can see the Jeffrey DeWitt's we did the video on yesterday, and they came from Carver Mead and Barbara Smith while they were in Sedona. I think it was Sedona, the house where we met them, Lou and I, on a trip. And then in the distance there, the glass ones, of course, are from Al Fix and from Daryl Wagner via Al Fix. So thanks to Daryl for hauling half that string out to California for me. So then the roses that you've seen are right here. We're tucked in right behind the rose plants on the back side of the yard. And then of course there's the double 5 pole on the other side of the roses. So anyway, so much for the tour of the yard. Let's get this thing going. We're going to lower this arm right here. This arm right now is just being held up by those come along straps. We're going to lower that and put another arm in the gap there. and suspend the arm we add from this cross beam here, and then we're going to suspend this arm from the arm we add. Anyway, that's the plan. Now let's see if I can do this without breaking anything. There was an arm here that was being held in place only by this bolt, and obviously that's getting on toward too much weight to suspend from one single point. So that's why I took that arm down and added the straps. So these straps are supporting the weight of all three arms right now, and we're gonna take care of that. Got my trusty solar battery charger here, which we're going to hang up and plug into the camera a little bit later if I start getting a battery warning. I'll take care of that right now. As you can see, this entire assembly here is just suspended right now, so I have to be very gentle when I change any of these positions of anything here. Make sure I don't make some kind of a stupid critical error and bring the whole thing down. Unfortunately, this guy was a victim of the process. I didn't do too much planning in advance, and that one got taken out. Oh well. So this whole thing needs to come down, give me room to put in another arm. So we're going to work on that slowly but surely. Okay, that one's down. Need a come along strap on the end too. That rope isn't going to work, so That'll be the next thing we have to mess with. As you can see, we're dealing with a lot of weight here, so we can't have a whole lot of play in the system. Okay, now this side. Out of there. Let's see, I'm looking for some of the hardware that I had on that. There's the washer. Got to keep all the nuts and bolts straight. We have to walk this thing down slowly, one strap at a time, and try to prevent a precipitous change in all of that. So that's what we're doing here, working on that. I need to replace this here right now. He's taking a lot of the weight, so I got to get another strap. Obviously, just a nylon cable isn't going to give me the kind of flexibility I need to raise and lower this thing, so I want to get set up the same way on both ends. So let's see what I've got to do here. Looks like this will do it. Let's see. Got my okay. Pretty well set. Take a strain on this one. Stay up there, buddy. Got it. Now we'll take the rope off. Let's see, we're all set. Well, this rope's got to go. I was using it as a safety rope before, but I think once I have 3 of these tie downs, I'm going to have to make a pretty stupid mistake, which, by the way, is not out of the question. But I'm going to have to make a pretty stupid mistake to get a gravity-related catastrophe here. So hopefully we don't have anything like that. And I'll just rough in the safety strap here in the middle, just in case. Go through one of these eyes.
What goes over there?
Hey man, I'm doing a live stream. This is how you screw with insulators. Yeah, playing with the erector set. That's my neighbor Derek. Now, those of you who follow my feed probably saw him drive up in the Daily Driver a couple of months ago when he came by with the fire truck while he was on shift. He's one of the best kind of neighbors you could hope to have. We got quite a few of them over here, actually, on all sides. What's that?
So you got some nice grapes over there.
Yeah. We'll see.
I just got off work.
It's pretty green. How long was your shift?
2 days, but I had a house on fire this morning and a train on fire last night.
Oh, man. Was the house a loss, or did you save it, or what?
Saved it.
Nice. Right on. Was it a kitchen fire?
Fire in the garage.
Uh-oh.
Have a good day, Mike.
All right, man. You too. Be careful. See here. I'm just rigging the safety rope in case we run into some shenanigans. Let's see. Just need something here to slow it down if it tries to get up and run. Oh. See what happens. Okay. So now we have 3 straps set up there. You can see the 2 orange straps on either end. Morning, Cristobal. And good morning, Stu. And morning, John. You guys, thanks for joining the broadcast. We're playing around with the insulator erector set here. Going to lower this crossarm a little bit and put a new one in on top and brace it. So I'm just working with some straps here to let it down gently, make some room for the new one. I'd say that's pretty tight. Let's see what we got. Okay. A little bit of play in that one. Now we'll let this one out a bit. play in that one. We'll let this one out a bit again. Holding us up here. We're on the safety rope now. Okay. We'll release that gently. It's there for a reason. Okay. Let's see. Get in a new hole here and get some more safety rope. Let's see. Let's go over on this side. All right, you know what? When I put this thing together, when I hung those big strains, I realized that this has got to be done slowly and carefully, and everything's got to be backed up with 3 backups, man, because if something fails, everything gets broken, including possibly me. So I'm not even in a hurry. I talked about that yesterday. You can't be in a hurry in this stuff, because if you get in a hurry, get impatient, make mistakes, something gets broken. I don't need to get broken. So you might be thinking, wow, this is incredibly boring. But in reality, half of the fun of this is figuring out the physics and making sure that you don't make any physics mistakes, because those are the ones that get you. Gravity is really, really strong and unforgiving. So it's a constant party with gravity to try to keep things going. So again, the mission here is to lower this arm enough to get another arm in between. That's what we're doing. So we're gently walking all 3 of these out to their longest length we can before putting that new arm in. A little bit at a time. With lots of backup. A little bit at a time with lots of backup. See how we're hanging on looks like we're hanging on the safety rope again, which is okay by me. Yep. Hanging on the safety rope. So let's take some strain off the safety rope with the middle. And we'll undo that one. And then we'll pop the middle. Okay. A little more play in a safety rope. And then tie it off again. Okay. Alright, and then we'll pop the middle one. This one always, this is the one with all the hoopla. Actually, we got quite a loop over there. So I think we're going to go down lower on that end this time. So here we go. There we go. Okay. We're on that. We're on the safety rope. And this guy is, let's lock him back. Okay. Take a little string off the safety rope and back it off some more. We're not really on that one yet. And this one's kind of loose, as you can see. We're sort of hanging. And that's why I have this in the middle. I mean, obviously we want to balance it while we're working. So, okay. Now, we're running out of length on the safety rope. So, let's see. We'll just tie it right here at the back up. A couple of half hitches is all we need. All right, and then here we go. Let her down. Okay. Now we're on that one. We got the orange ones are tight now. And we'll back the middle off a bit. Why am I twisted there? Why am I twisted? I don't get that. What happened there? We gotta, oh, I know why. We got a situation with the hooks. The hooks. There we go. That's right. Okay. All right. Then let's back this up about 4 inches and then wrap it. Okay. There we go. Okay, so how much do we have there? We got about 2 or 3 inches of drop right there. Let's get a little more. I want to get a little more. What I want to do is double hook these. I want to double hook these hooks. You see how these hooks here just have one? If you hook them into each other, it's less likely that they're going to hop out when there's like a jump in the rigging. You double hook them like that, less likely that they'll jump out. Okay, that's a little more than I'd like. Let's wrap that up just a bit. All right, that's better. Okay, so we've got about 3 inches of drop there. We got play in the safety. Well, let's take this end down now. All right, here we go. Okay, and we're on the rope. We're on the ropes. No, we're good. All right. Looks to me like we got enough room, at least on this end. I think we have enough room to go ahead and do the new arm. Let's get this taken a bite. There we go. One more. There it is. Okay, that sucker's taking a bite. And we're solid on the middle. We're coming up tight on the safety rope almost, and we're tight on that guy. So let's back off the safety rope a bit, because I think this is going to be the last drop we do before we put in put in the new arm. So we'll back off the safety rope about that much. Okay. A couple half hitches and we're good. Boop, boop, a doop. Sometimes with new nylon that's slippery, a half hitch or two is not enough because it'll undo. But this older weathered nylon is pretty good. Okay, let's take this one down now. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right, let it out. Okay. And then we'll take up some slack. That's too much. Too much. Let's try that again. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right, lock it down. This will be our last drop. Over here we're slack. Here we're super tight. Safety rope, we're slack. And we've got about enough for a little drop right there, so here we go. Yeah. All right. Okay, we're still slack on the safety rope. We're tight on that one. We're tight on that one. And we'll take up some slack on this one just to be cool. All right, there we go. We're all set. Now, yeah, it could be a little more even. I know the perfectionists in me wants to get that level, and it's not level, it's low on this end, but rather than raise this end, I'm going to lower the other end. Because we can always bring it back up to match the holes. You'll see what I mean there. I'm using these V-bars as connectors, and 2 points of connection instead of one is what we're after here. So, all right. Okay, we shouldn't have too much hop here. Famous last words, right? Here we go. There we go. Okay. Yep. All right, that's it. So now, pick up the slack, snug it up. Snuggy-doop. There we go. Snug, tight, and snug. So almost all the weight is on the center. And that's by design, but there's, yeah, it's still not very even, is it? It probably looks even worse from that oblique angle where the camera's sitting. Let me see what it looks like there. Hey, Brian. Brian lives right across the street. Oh man, it's not focused. What's up with that? There we go. And Cristobal, good morning. Actually, it's afternoon for you, probably 9 hours ahead. And Brian's right across the street. He could stand up on his motorhome and watch what's going on. And then Henry's over in the Bay Area. Hi, Henry. And so now we got the crossarm lowered. Now we're going to add a new one in the middle. Going to add a new one in the middle. I'll show you what we've got there. Oh. Here's another view of what we're doing. This is a view from the concrete porch. And then there are the strains we hung yesterday, the JDs. And then, of course, these are the Allen Carroll Fix JDs. Oh, yeah. So we're going to get this arm right here. This arm is the one we're fixing to hang right here, down on the ground. Gonna turn the camera down and see if I can't, yeah. You see this arm right here. It's not a very good picture. I guess I'm shooting into the light. Let me get a better angle here. See how that works. Does that work better? Yeah, maybe so, That's the arm. Let me see right there. That right there is the arm we're going to hang. So, what we need to do is figure out which holes we're going to use. So, put on your seatbelt because I'm going to tilt the camera and show you what we're doing. These holes, maybe I can bring the arm up to you. Let's see how that works. But let's do it this way so that we're not shooting into the light. This will give you a better picture if we're not shooting into the light. So the arm has these holes that are already drilled in it. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to line up the bracing on these holes and hang the arm that way. Now, it should be pretty obvious at this point that that hole doesn't go all the way through. Why? Because I drilled and put a pin in there, and I don't believe that I have run that through with a bit. I have not. So that hole doesn't go all the way through. So what we're probably going to end up doing is using one of these holes. Yeah. Probably going to end up using one of these. These two holes right here. Probably this one, this inner one. We're going to use that hole as our brace mount on both ends to hold up the arm on the erector set. So, let's go figure that out. It doesn't take a lot of rocket science. I'm not sufficiently anal retentive that I need to break out a tape measure. One thing about dealing with line material like this is the old stuff, that we get out of the dumpster. The old stuff, it's all drilled pretty much standard. I mean, if you look at these arms here, you'll see every one of them has two holes right at the end of the crossarm. They all have two holes right at the end of the crossarm. So typically, most of the stuff fits together legitimately and obviously. And it's kind of like an erector set. Straight up. It's done like that on purpose, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The linemen don't have to reinvent the wheel when they're out putting something together. But a lot of the guys tell me they mock up, they build the thing, at the shop. They build it in the yard first to make sure everything's the way they want it, and then they tear it down, throw it in the truck, and drive it out to the site and put it up. I know some people want to make sure that all the bugs are worked out. So you see these holes here in the end of the arm. These holes here. One of these, or one here, maybe behind the strap, or this hole here. Somehow these holes are going to line up and hold this arm we're going to put across here. So that's how it's going to play out. So let's see what we're going to do. I'm still playing with the design in my brain. Now look down here. See this metal bar that's sort of hanging cattywampus? That's one of the bars we're going to use to support the new arm. What we're going to do is swing it into position like this. And then when we get it to a place where this hole lines up with a hole in the arm, we'll mount it, and that'll be it. I'm probably going to move this back though to here. That's the next step. Because we can see by looking at what's already there, we can see how long the arms are. Those two arms on the bottom, those are the same length as the one we're getting put up. So I can pretty much gauge which one of these holes I want to use for my bracing bar by how long these arms are, you know, and where the holes are in the end. So that's what's going to happen. That's how we're going to do it. Now let's see how that works. This eyeball out of the hole so I can move the bracing over. Okay, so that's out. That hole's free now. We're going to use that. We're going to use that for one of our bracing bolts. The next is undo this. Okay, so I take that out. Oops. Unfortunately, that nut's painted red, so it shouldn't be too hard to find it. Famous last words. Oh. There it is. Oh. Yeah, it might have been a smart thing to do to cut the grass before I did this. I can only keep track of a certain number of smart things to do. After a certain point, I OD on smart things to do, and I just got to play, you know. So, anyway, there we go. Well, there's the rod, and now we're gonna move it to the other hole. Here, we're going to be like that. It's going to be too long. hole is going to probably be right about there. And we want the arm to be up here somewhere. We want the arm to be up here. So it looks like we're going to need to drill our own holes. To get an arm to mount this high up, we're going to have to drill our own holes. Let's see, it's going to be about right. I want it just above the insulators in the lower arm, so it's going to be about right there. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be about right there. Pretty sure that's where we're going to need it. Right there. I want to make double sure that the arm we're getting ready to put up is the same length as this one down below. I'm glad I checked. It's not. It's a lot shorter. It's the same length as the short one. So that changes the equation a little bit. That means if I want to hang another arm that's about this long here, then I'm going to have well, that won't work. I can't undo that. That'll just be, well, maybe I can. Because I have this. I don't know. I'll probably be in trouble undoing that. Probably not a good idea. Let's see. That would line me up with the pre-drilled holes, but I'd have to drill them over there too. So that's probably where I have to go. Yeah. That's probably what I have to do. I'm going to have to use that hole right here. Like that. That's what we're going to do right there. So let's see, off the center. Right there. Off the center. Yeah, it's the same. Good. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this here. And this is going to sit here like this. And then this hole, basically one of those, on that arm. Okay. And then over here, same thing. That hole right there, another arm right there. So I need another one of these. this is, I think I can use this. Let's see. Okay. I think that's going to work. Bring it right up like that. I need another one of those. Let's see, where do I find that? Okay. So we have another one. Now, sometimes these are not the same. Sometimes they're this long, this long, this long. So I have to look. Same. Okay, so the bolt. See, this whole grande, big, pequeño, small. That was. Come on. There it is. Okay. 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 All right. Well, very good. Now, remember that I said these holes don't go all the way through? Now they need to go all the way through. You see? In order to do this right, this hole needs to go all the way through. And right now, this pin is blocking. You see? So, yeah. So what I got to do is I got to run inside and get a drill and run that through on both ends of the arm. So let's do that next. I'll be right back with a drill. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention. The way these line guys work, all the holes are standard sizes. So once you have a set of tools that you know fits the holes that are already drilled in the arms, you don't need, this 64ths and 32nds. No, it's all standard American sizes, at least in the older stuff. I don't know about the newer stuff. I don't have any of it. Now, most of you probably already know this, but when you buy a drill, get a drill with a big chuck. The small drills, man, they'll drive you nuts, because the moment that you need a beast or a little bit larger than normal bit, it won't fit. Make you crazy. Then you got to pull out the big, Milwaukee. It's just, there's nothing wrong with a big Milwaukee. I love it. I drill pinholes with it, I mean, I use speed bore and just right on through. But get something with a big chuck, okay? And then if you're gonna play with line junk, get yourself some real bits. Spend $50 or $35 one time. Don't try to drill metal with it. If you got copper ground wire on the back side of the arm, don't wrap the copper wire up on the bit. Be smart. But you spend good money on one bit, you'll never buy another bit. Just keep it oiled. Okay, so there you go. Now, a little bit larger than the original hole. No biggie. Here we go. Let's put it on drill tension. Try again. Kind of obvious when you hit that pin. That pin's hardwood. There it is. I love the smell of fresh creosote on the drill bit in the morning. All right, let's do the other one. Right. This is a DeWalt 20 volt max brushless XR. Works for me. Nothing like a nice sharp bit, man. Get her done. It is. That won't hard now, was it? Okay. Well, what do we have to do now? Let's see. Well, I'm going to have to get out in front of these braces. Some of y'all probably already figured that out. All right. Yes, indeed. Let me get the angle back here so you can see what's going on. Ooh. All right. Well, now we're gonna get ready to put it all up. Morning, Hugh. Good to see you. Derek, how you doing? Ryan, good morning, gentlemen. We're playing insulator erector set here. The goal is to lower these as much as we can, make room for another arm across the top. Got to make it difficult. Instead of putting it on the bottom, got to put it on top. Okay. So. this arm's going to have to be out in front of these angle braces. Some of y'all watching closely probably already figured that out. It took me a minute. So, okay. And we don't need this here anymore. I don't know if I have. Oh, there it is. That's the hardware that was on here. Okay. It was all of it. All these, all 4 of them were hanging off that one. And I was like, no, it's getting a little bit excessive. We're gonna have to change that game up. Okay, so we're getting close to the point where we're gonna hang the arm now. I'm just trying to see what kind of interference we're gonna have with the straps, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. How's the audio? Can you guys hear me okay? Anybody out there still listening? It looks like I got 4 people watching. So, anyway, we're going to try putting up the arm now. I got to go look around. No, I've got bolts. I have bolts here. So these, the heads on these bolts have built-in washer. So I don't have to have a washer on the head of the bolt. And then I've got that on the back. So we ought to be able to. Now, the way we get the arm up, I mean, you can see how long those brace bars are, right? The way we get the arm up is we angle the brace bars in so that the arm is only down about 7 or 8 inches. I'll show you what I mean. All right, let's see if I've got enough strength and agility to do this on the first try. This part might be better done as a 2-person project, but we'll see. We'll see. Now remember, what we want to do is have this arm line up with the one below it of the same length. That would be aesthetically pleasing. So, the goal is for the arm to be about right here. Okay? So, if this is up here like this, and this hole that we just drilled, lines up. Okay. Washer and the nut. Just barely got enough there to grab onto. Once I take a wrench to it, I'll have threads all the way through the nut, but initially I'm only getting about 4 turns on it. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Now, all right. Now let's see, what is it going to look like? You see what happens now is this bar goes over here like this, and then the arm sits right here between the two bars. Now, yeah, it'll rock. I mean, it'll rock like this, but once I get those nuts tight, I can set it square and crank it, and it's fine. And let gravity do the rest, right? So, let's see, get another bolt. Uh-oh. Where I hid the nuts for myself, apparently. Believe me, it's no fun losing your nuts. Oh, here we go. No washer, though. I gotta go get a washer. Thought I had one, but I guess I don't. Okay, I'll be right back. I've got a nut and a bolt, but I have no washer, so I gotta go take care of that. So, thanks again to Stu and Moots and Dale for all the junk that you guys have brought over the years. I mean, you know, I keep it all in little boxes in the garage, and I got all the toys I need to play this. So, thanks to my friends in the line trade for keeping me supplied with junk. It's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Washer and nut. Once I pick this up, it's going to try to do a dance. You'll see what's happening there. It wants to go, gravity wants to take it down flat, and we're like, nope, we're not playing flat. This is where the second person comes in handy to push on the back of that crossarm, you see. Because I can't do both of these at once. So I may have to rig some a fulcrum or something. No, maybe not. Have to hold the bolt in my mouth or something, maybe, huh? Let's see here. I just had to kiss it. Finger tight. Okay, now you're looking at that going, no, Mike, you blew it. You blew it because the arm's hanging too low, and the next arm below it is too low. But you see, I haven't anchored it yet. The next arm below it has two more of these angle rods, these angle steel, this flat steel. that are going to go into holes on the arm above it. So that's the next trick. So right now, the first mission is complete, you see, and this is kind of, see how this is just floating on gravity, right? So once I tighten those nuts down, it's locked, right? I mean, as locked as it needs to be. It's a toy, right? We're not supporting any transmission crap here, so we'll let gravity do the balancing for us. So next, we got to figure out how this back arm, right, the underarm, how will the underarm interface with the arm above it? In other words, which holes will it use to support itself hanging? So that's the next trick. And the way it looks, you see, here's the bar right here. I can get this up without changing the balance of power. Yeah. And this Whittle-Tatum is in harm's way. In fact, both of these probably are for now. Let's get them out of the way. But you see what's going to happen next is this bar has to go up and hook into the back of this arm, probably in this hole right here. That's where it's probably going to go. That's probably going to give us enough distance between. So if we need more, then we'll put this bar into the second hole, and that'll give us even more clearance. But let's have a look. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to take these two insulators off as well, since they might end up getting in the way. Yeah, make it 3. Okay. Get them out of the strike zone, as it were. Okay. So now we've got this bar over here. Right? This bar is going to hold up. And yeah, it's looking like that isn't going to give me enough room. It's not going to give me enough room. I'm going to have to go with the second hole. So I think that's where we are now. We're going to have to go with the second hole. So let's see. The first step in that process is to change the way we're suspending this arm, because this arm is carrying the weight of itself plus 2 more, and we're going to have to be able to lower it to a point where we can get the bar hooked into the right place. And I don't have enough play left in that strap, so I'm going to have to substitute that strap. This one I think I have enough play left in the strap, but that one I don't. So I'm going to have to go grab another strap. strap. I'm not 100% convinced this one's any longer than that one, but let's have a look. In fact, let's not even worry about it. Let's just do this. We'll just go through the eye. Right? Now, that's what we'll do. We'll just do it like that. And then we won't have to sweat it. Okay. Yes, indeed. That'll work fine. That will work fine. Again, what we're doing here is we're lowering this arm even more to make room for the arm above. And as I pointed out before, when I hook these together, I hook the hooks. I intertwine the hooks instead of simply hooking them one time, because it tends to make the job easier. And I've got this one upside down for the way I like to have it, because I like to be pulling down on my slack when I pop the tension release. So I need this one in the top so that I can be pulling down on the slack when I do the tension release. Now that's good. Down. Okay. Here we go. We're all set there. Now let's take up some slack. Out of the game now. Okay. He's out of the game. Alright, now let's lower, we're going to lower everything down. So, first thing we'll do is we'll pop this end, and let's see, we got a lot of weight on there. We got a little bit of play in the safety rope, and we're tight on the center, but not piano tight. So, okay, here we go. Let's pop it and see what happens. You'll see the whole thing go doom, and then it'll hopefully stop a few inches lower than it was. Here we go. All right. And do it. Here we go. That's it. No major cheese dog there. Okay, let's take up some slack and tighten it just a bit. Remember, we want to leave room for it to go down some more, so that's what we're doing here. We're leaving room for it to settle. All right. And we've got about 2 inches of slack there. Now we're piano tight on that. So now we're going to go down on that one. Here we go. You'll see it jump here. Ready? You will see it jump here. Okay. now weights on that one. All our weights on that one. And we'll take up a little slack here. And get that ready for another jump. Check my hooks. My hooks look good. Still got safety rope play. We're tight on this one, so let's pop this one now. Here we go. Okay. All right. We're down. We're good. Now we'll take up some slack. That's enough, I think. We're tight on that one, but we're loose on this one, so we can come out in the middle again. Okay, here we go. All right. Now a little more. Wrap it up. Okay, we're on the safety rope now. We're also on this one. So, let's pop the safety rope. And get ourselves a little more slack there. Maybe the Phillips screwdriver bit that I took out of the drill will work. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. Alright. Okay, take out put some more slack in the safety rope. Okay. Half hitch. Come on. Okay. And one more. And we're almost out of safety rope. Okay, double half hitch, we're all set. Okay, we got some play in the safety rope. We got play in the middle. We're tight on that one. And we're tight on this one. We need to let this end down a bit. This is the high end, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, we're getting close. This one's going to be here, like this. And this one's going to have its bars in either this hole or this hole on each end. So let's take another look at where we are for anchoring that. Yeah, we're gonna have to come down some more. I'm gonna run out of strap on this side too, so I need an eye to hook onto. I need the play in my strap is running out, so I'm gonna need to move it over and put it in an eye, just like I have on that end, which gives me another 1.5 feet of play. So that's the next step. So. Get another eye, all right? big flat washer and a round one. Got some, yeah, shit. Okay. Come on, baby. I know you're like, you don't have to tighten it all the way. You can have a little play in it. I know, but I'm a little too anal retentive for that. All right. There we go. Okay, now let's take up some slack here. Okay. And that's tight. And this one is a little bit loose. But a little bit loose isn't safe enough for me. I want nothing on it when I undo it. Okay, now there's nothing on it. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, back over to the eye, just like I did with the other one. This goes under, and we don't need to worry about pinching the control bar because the control bar is going to be floating inside the mounting. So there we go, and then we'll take up slack. Come on, baby. There it is. All right, and we'll put some tension on it now. Okay, now we've got it. Okay. All right. Now we'll loosen the middle. There we go. Little jump coming. Ready? All right. Now we're tightly on the outer bars, so now we're gonna take some out of the middle. Let's see, where am I? I want to be able to see my hooks. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. All right. And a little slack. All right. Close enough. I want to go down more than that, though. Hold on. That's about right there. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. Well, you see where we are. This is the hole, right? This is the hole we want to mount in. And this is the hole we're shooting for right here. So we've got about another 4 inches to go, which may or may not be enough. We'll have to see. So here we go. A little bit at a time. No hurry. Down to the weed whacker level now. I don't want my yard guy tearing up my stuff, so this is about as close to the deck as I want it. All right, and then let's see where we are here. Yeah, here I'm ready to hook up right there. How am I looking over here? Yeah, I'm ready to hook up. I think we are set. They might say, well, Mike, you're not going to be able to get any insulators off. Remember that I can rock the whole thing. If I need to get clearance. So let's see, where am I with my bolts? Bolts. Am I using? No, I am. I'm using new bolts this time. Okay, so we now have we've lowered the 3 arms to the point now where we're about ready to hook in. We're about ready to hook in. And if we find that it's too close, I can't unscrew the insulators on the second arm, easily, then we'll move to the inner hole. But right now we're going to try the outer hole. So I'm going to go and get a couple of bolts and nuts and washers, and we're going to do that. Now we're not holding up many hundreds of pounds, so what I did is I ordered these on Amazon, and I got stainless steel, and they're fine. I ordered like 2 dozen of them. The whole order was like $35, so these are great for erector set stuff, and they're long enough to go through the crossarm with enough slack to accommodate 2 of those strip bars, those V bars, and still have enough thread left to fill the nut. So here we go. Now this is a big hole, right? Theoretically, I should bush this hole, but I don't have anything like that. And I am out of, hint, I'm out of the big threaded stuff. I may have to order some of that myself, but we're gonna be okay here. We're gonna be okay. Okay, well, theoretically, I don't have any reason for this strap to be in place anymore, because all of the linkage necessary to hold this system up on this end is done. Not tight, but done. So let's just see what happens here if we start to slack up. Let me just take that up a touch. There we go. that's it. So I'm just going to leave that on as a safety. But it doesn't look like we need it anymore. Okay, and then let's see, over here, same thing. Brace in a hole. It's in a hole. It's lining up, no problem. So we're going to put it in and line it up. Okay, there it is. Washer. Nut. Oh, come on. Oh, you gotta be like that, huh? Yeah, you gotta be like that. Oh. There it is. One time I was out here digging around, doing a job like this, and I found one of my long lost wireless earbuds. It was pretty crazy. I don't know when I lost it or how, but there it was. Okay. Same story here. If everything's right, we shouldn't need this anymore. Well, let's see what happens. Now we're off it. Okay. And we'll tighten it up there just for safety. Okay. And then, all right, we're off center in the middle, which is why it's leaning. So you'll see here in a second, it'll come up. Here we go. And we'll be on the safety rope too at that point. See how gravity levels everything out? Pretty cool, huh? Alright. So, let's see. In the big picture of things, I think what we have here, other than snugging up all the nuts and bolts, got her done. Now, what do you think about that second tier? Is it too close to unscrew stuff? doesn't look too close to me. I mean, you see what I was saying before about how I can see the way this works? It's a pretty cool setup because you can move the arms around if you need to. But typically gravity keeps the thing hanging straight. As long as the fundamental is straight, then everything else seems to stay straight. Okay. Yep. I'm going to come off the last and then we're gonna pull the safety. Okay, this strap's not even taking any strain right now, so it's done. I'll show you in a minute what I was talking about with these hooks. You know, these tie-down straps, strictly speaking, these tie-down straps are not come-alongs, but I use them as come-alongs, and I use them in groups. And I always use a safety string, safety rope, and they work fine for me. But one of the things that you have to be careful with is when you saw it hop a couple times. You know, it goes doo when it takes up the tension. The nylon is naturally bouncy. So with these hooks, if you just hook it like this, you can run into problems. When it bounces, it opens, right? So what you do is you interlock them so that you're going like this through both holes. And sometimes it takes a little bit of origami or yoga or whatever that's called to get it to do it. But once you get it, then you got it. And I had this over there. Of course, yeah, see like that? Then I've never had one of these bounce open. And that works a lot better than just hooking it. And it works better when you're using it as a tie down on the road too. I mean, you know, if your load bounces or the trailer bounces or something, it can come undone. Much, much less likely to come undone when the hook's like this. See, like I said before, there's a lot of nut and bolt tightening that has to go on here. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. Let me see what the comments look like. Hey, Martin Benson from Germany. Welcome, sir. Well, so far we've had folks from the Balearic Islands. Sebastia Bordoy, welcome, sir. From an area near Palma, Mallorca, where I've been. One of my most enjoyable Liberty ports in my Navy career. Sebastia Bordoy is a lineman over there who is responsible for a number of beautiful insulators in my collection. And we have Veronica Giotto, I hope I pronounced that right, Giotto, Veronica from Italy, and we also have Martin Benson from Germany. Those of you who are familiar with my collection know about that huge glass 3-stem pothead that I installed LEDs in. Martin Benson provided that in 2 huge shipments we traded. I sent him Big Mud, and he sent me the pothead. Amazing piece. Amazing piece. Let's see. I don't want to... Cristobal Luengos? Cristobal. From... Let me get the city right. It's the capital of Spain. He hangs out in... Oh gosh, help me out. What's the capital of Spain? Cristobal has a place there, he and his wife, and they also have something down near the Mediterranean coast. I've seen pictures of a little villa that he has down there in the view of the Mediterranean Sea. Man, come on, Mike. What is the capital of Spain? What an idiot. Anyway, Cristobal's coming to us from Spain. And then we have Dave Moffat from another planet. He's the most distant one of all watching the broadcast. He is an interstellar visitor from the planet Mickey. And then we have a bunch of folks watching from the East Coast. And we have a visitor from Texas named Hugh, one of the gentlemen I served with in the Navy. Longtime friend coming up through school in the Navy. He and I taught together at Mare Island. That was fun. In a lot of ways I'm not even allowed to talk about. It was fun. Yeah, Michael Groot, good to see you. John Maida, thank you for joining. And Robert Long, good to see you too. That's North Carolina, right? Oh, there we are. Everything looks like it's pretty well hung, and we're gonna tighten it all up and head inside and get a bite to eat. I don't know how much battery I have left even. Hard to say. But thank you guys for watching. That was fun. I'm glad we didn't have any accidents. Let me get the safety rope off and put some insulators on there, and then we'll be ready to rock. It's tight again. A little bit chilly out here without any direct sun. I had the sun for most of the presentation, but now it's kind of cold. The sun's up there behind a cloud. I don't know, is today eclipse day? Is the sun behind the shadow? Is the moon passing between us? I don't know. The light hasn't changed much. What time is it? It would be like 11 something around here. It's not 11 something, is it? What time is it right now? I don't see a clock on my screen. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Oh, it's 12:33. All right. I don't know. 12:33 here in California. All right. Yeah. It's suspended. Happily suspended. This guy's here. By stubborn insistence, I've not been able to unscrew it. I could probably break out a strap wrench and do it, but why? He's holding on for dear life. I don't want to mess with him. It's Probably bad luck. Some way, somehow. Not that I believe in luck. This is an iron pin right here. That came out of the Lou Hull collection. That's an interesting piece of work. The interesting thing about this pin is it has a shank on it. It's steel, it's heavy. I mean iron, you know. The interesting thing about this pin is it has the same kind of a body on it, but it has these threads in the bottom. And then it has this gizmo here. So, you know, you drop it in the pinhole and you shore it up with this, and you're done. So, I have it out here for now. I soaked it in oil for a long time, and it's happy. It's happy now. About it. I don't have a whole lot left to hang right now. Well, got the new arm, and nothing to put on it. As you know, however, that situation won't last long. Insulators tend to reproduce in the night, so at some point there will be more. What I ought to do is put a stake in the ground and hold all that out there like that. But it'll straighten up a little bit when I crank down all those bolts. And yeah. I think we're just about done. Just about done. Oh, yeah. My solar gizmo for charging the tablet when we're outside. Called Big Blue. 28 watt solar charger. Works beautifully for keeping the tablet online when we're doing a long outdoor broadcast. Anyway, there you have it. All said and done. Thank every one of you for joining and watching. And I'll try to do more of these now that the weather's better. Hi, Ryan. Welcome from Michigan. Thank you for joining in. And y'all take care. and have a happy and a safe eclipse day. Is that where we are? Are we on eclipse day? I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave you with a view of the roses. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Tomorrow is the eclipse. Right on. All right, well, y'all have a happy Sunday. Like I said, I'll try to do some more of these soon. Yeah, those flat suspensions came from Alan Carroll Fix up there in New York. I don't know where he got them. He might have had to go into Canada to get them. They use a larger size ball and socket than normal. Thanks to Andrew Keepers for scoring me the right size ball and socket hanging hardware. There you can see. Up there at the top. I don't know if I can zoom in on that for you or not. Yeah, I guess I can, huh? Whoops. Didn't want to flip the camera there. Scare the hell out of everybody. There we go. That's what I hung up with. I had a couple choices. That's just the one I chose to go with. Andrew has access to a lot of cool hardware. So he gave me choices. Alright, you guys. Well, good luck with that, man. Be careful, and hopefully it's another step in a long, rewarding career in the line trade. God knows. It's good to get dibs on the old stuff, and it's even better better to be in a super lucrative business that's probably never going to go away in your lifetime. No. All right. Thanks again for everybody that joined in, and I'm gonna end the broadcast now and head in for some lunch. Take care. Be careful.